Alright, everyone, welcome back to our fabulous Ultimate Admirals campaign. Playing as Germany, and we are in the middle of doing a massive update to our fleet. And when I say massive, I mean, I don't even know how many that is. How many is that? That's 30 torpedo boats that we're building. It's a massive upgrade. We have been upgrading our, I think, light cruisers and heavy cruisers as well. Double check that, yeah. And so when these torpedo boats come off the line, we will have replaced absolutely everything of our starting fleet with the exception of our battleships. We will get to the battleships shortly. But for those, I'm definitely going to want this armor quality. The reason being is that battleships are going to be heavy, and the bigger they are, the heavier that armor gets, the more it can take up. And so I want to have better armor that's going to be lighter before we go to that next battleship design. In the meantime, we're going to start looking at the potential of pushing Russia into war. That's going to be our really big thing. I would like to see us get done sooner rather than later. Just because eventually we're going to be looking at a position where we're fighting either someone like the United States or Russia, or not Russia, United States or France or England or somebody else on one side, and potentially looking at a war on the other side at the same time. And I'd rather us not have to deal with a strong Russia on one side and then somebody else on the other. So that's our kind of, I don't want to say quandary at the moment, but that's where we're looking, where we have we just have a need to smash Russia sooner rather than later. So we are, I think, gonna start to consolidate a little bit on making a viable fleet for that. So that when the time comes, we're not getting trapped with a large number of small detachments, that we can come out with something that's actually fleet worthy. So alright, looks like that's good for now. Yep, 5 months at there, so at like 3 months what we'll do is scrap all of our existing torpedo boats. Yeah. All right, we're in the negatives again, but we're going to be okay. Pumping that GDP up is going to be our long-term benefit, even if it slows our current income. So politics. Let's try and improve with Japan. We'll see. Historically, that happened, but we also know what happened historically on the Japanese-German alliance, though that was later in the world, of course. So I think I got one more turn, and then we'll start scrapping those older torpedo boats. And one thing I'm noticing is that there's a lot of countries that are overextending their naval commitments. That's something we are not going to be doing. Like, we do not want to see our Admiral getting told that he's spending too much money. Don't want that. So, alright, there's our next round of research, but also it looks like Russians are getting isolated at the same time that we're starting to have a lot of money pouring in. Yeah, our shipyards got finished. 4 months for armor. I would be tempted to go ahead and do another round of shipyard building, but with only 4 months, like the shortest that we can do for our shipyards is 6 months. I think I would rather save the money so we can update our battleships immediately rather than wait. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. We will hold off for the first time on getting more shipyard size. But we will keep pushing the Russians. We've got no unrest, so that's something we can take advantage of. Oh wait, well, okay. Thanks. Alright, let's see here. Are those in service? Those are in service. Fantastic. Armor quality 2 months. We're getting there. And it should pop here. Yeah, nickel steel, that's good. That armor weight is fantastic. And yeah, it's more expensive, but I mean, that's kind of why we're not doing the shipyards at the same time. So let's go design our brand new battleship design. This is going to be fantastic. And we'll slow it down. 19 knots for a battleship is good at the start. All right, let's see what we can put on this beautiful thing. from a look standpoint, I do like the way that the turrets for the 9-inch guns look, but I think what we'll do is go to the 10-inch double barrel. And then we'll look and see what we can do for secondaries. Which may be none. No, none. We cannot do secondaries. Okay, that's fine. Kind of surprised we can only do... There we go. Okay. I was like, man, that's not a lot in the way of casemates, but okay, 4-inch guns for casemates works. I know a lot of people like to throw torpedoes on all their ships. I would prefer not to have my battleships with torpedoes. I know it gives some lesser tactical flexibility, but the way I'm thinking of this is a battleship is not exactly something that I want to be throwing in close quarters, because it's just not very maneuverable. They're not. And so I would rather have my battleship stand off and fight, so that I don't have to worry as much about enemy torpedoes, right? Because like an enemy torpedo is going to go through this ship like butter at this stage, and so if we can keep it where the enemy isn't going to be in range to hit us with torpedoes, that's, in my book, the best way to not have to worry about it. Now, we're still going to give ourselves some protection, right? We did go ahead and give ourselves any torpedo protection 1, because just because I have plans to stay off that range doesn't mean that the enemy, that dirty dog, is going to let us stay at range, especially if they get in close with like torpedo boats, which we're not going to be able to outrun. So we'll do what we can, but we're also going to make sure that we cover as many angles as possible. All right, so we have some extra room. As far as weight goes. I was hoping to increase the size of the barrels there, but no dice. So, okay, let's work on our armor. See what we can get done here. Okay. There we go. She's a beast. She's a beast, but we like that. She might get outgunned by other battleships. I have noticed that NPC nations really like to have as many guns as possible and as big a gun as possible. I like to make my ships have some decent armor with guns that are capable of doing damage rather than the biggest and best. Yeah, like, see, so like our old battleships have 12-inch guns versus we have 10-inch guns here. But we're faster, and we are going to be able to soak more damage. And that's a big deal. We're a little bit faster. We have slightly better guns, but we have a lot better protection. That just means to me that we're going to be having battleships that stay afloat. I'm all good with having my battleships not get sunk. And see, if we had put torpedoes on there, we would have immediately been having outdated torpedoes. So I'm glad we didn't. All right. Let's see if we can't push Russia into war. Fantastic. Fantastic. We are going to be able to really do some damage, I think, here. Now, they do have a large number of secondary things coming, so we're going to merge a lot of our fleet here together. Mostly because that just means it's going to be a massive fight. But the thing that we also need to remember is they have a little bit of stuff over here. They usually don't send much in the way of ships out here. I won't say they don't send anything, right? Because we did just see that battleship. But I'll say they usually don't send much. So I'm going to try and catch that battleship by itself with just a swarm of torpedo boats and see what we can do. We might be able to catch a battleship out by itself. That would be a good opening shot for this war as well. I want an alliance with France, but I'm not going to hurt our economy to do that. Alright, showdown in the Baltic. Here we go. Well, I thought so. Alright. Turn that music down just a little bit here. And let's see if we can't get into a fight here. Oh, and it's the one where it's their solo battleship, so fantastic. We'll probably do this fight and then stop here for today, just based on some time. And I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do on this battleship. It's a 1 versus 6, so I'm hoping that we'll be doing all right. Well, they did see us, so that's fantastic. Going early, going early. That's all right. Okay, so we know we have some decent gunnery. We just planked a shell off their armor, which, I mean, I'm not surprised it went off their armor. All things considered, we have relatively small guns. So it'd be extremely difficult for some of our rounds to go hit them and penetrate, especially at range, but we're going to be seeing what we can do here. It did get lucky with some early shots there, but it didn't do a whole terrible lot of damage. So that's fantastic. And I will say, in case anybody is wondering, if our shells penetrate a battleship from a torpedo boat, and I do mean the shells, not torpedoes, I'm gonna worry because we have small guns. Yeah, like that. Like, I should not be damaging a battleship with a 4-inch gun, and we're doing a decent amount of damage. Not obviously like surprisingly massive, right? But any damage is kind of shocking, to be honest. Alright, and our first torpedoes are away. That one, I don't know why it's going that way, but okay. And I think we're going to get at least one hit there. Might only be one, but yeah. Not a lot of damage. Which I find a bit surprising, but it is what it is. Also kind of surprised that he's still shooting at people who have already launched torpedoes, but okay. Don't get hit by our own torpedoes here, dude. There we go. Yeah, I think this guy is sunk. All things considered at the moment. But we'll see. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, as the saying goes. That being said, if it's not dead in the water here, we'll probably be coming around in enough time with enough remaining boats to be able to put more torpedoes in to sink this guy. Yeah, he is trying to pump that water out. Yep. Okay, so round 2 will be coming. That guy lost his torpedoes, that's right. Alright, so we have 5 torpedo boats that can make a second run. Works for me. I think we just need to hit somewhere in the middle there. I think we'll be able to really get this guy sunk. We do need it in the middle. Those two are going to miss. That one's going to hit, but I don't know where. That one may miss, but that one, or two, is going to hit. Yeah. So we got 3 torpedo hits there. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it this time. Got him in the middle with 3 torpedoes. Exactly the way we wanted. But we'll put some more. Yep, there we go. We got him. All right, we will end there with the sinking of the Sissoy Valenki and the start of the Russian war. So fantastic! I will see you guys next time. Feel free to leave comments, tips, suggestions in the comment section. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Dragonheart, signing off.